Hello, my name is Jacob Phillip and I am the founder of the Student Parliamentary Association.
My name is Kelson Brissac. I'm the co-founder of the Student Parliamentary Association.
Today we'd like to give you an idea of what our organization is by asking the question, what is the Student Parliamentary Association, or the SPA?
Now, the SPA is an organization devoted to the mindset of teaching students aged 13 to 19 the value of parliamentary procedure through real-world applications.
These real-world applications can include things such as debate, Model United Nations, and now, Model NATO.
Now, Model NATO is a combination of parliamentary procedure as well as the idea of debate behind Model United Nations. So before we delve too much further into this, I'll allow Jacob to talk about the history behind this conference.
Our organization was born out of an idea when Kelton and myself were at a Model United Nations conference. We were observing and coaching a younger group, a younger generation, about the importance of parliamentary procedure in Model United Nations. At the end, I was applying to become a teacher or a chair, a distinguished individual, at the next conference. And while I was applying, at the bottom it asked for suggestions. One of these suggestions had to do with what committees this Model United Nations group should have for the next year. That is when Kelton and myself came up with the idea for Model NATO.
Now, Model NATO is a more transparent version of Model United Nations. Instead of having many various committees that almost seem to micromanage different facets of one side of the globe to another, what Model NATO is striving to do is have 6 basic committees to have more general resolutions to where students can argue not only the specifics of a plan, but also the value or the mindset behind it.
This real-world simulation teaches students the importance of parliamentary procedure, and our organization specifically attempts to teach students from 13 to 19 about the importance of parliamentary procedure. But instead of merely discussing this matter, our organization believes that students should put their skills to use and in a real-world, real-life simulation, such as Model NATO.
I know that in my experience with parliamentary debate, I found that many resolutions seem to almost be insignificant or light-handed, if you will. It's this basic concept that the resolutions did not apply to the actual real world. An example of this was, do you believe that the 2012 Trump campaign will prevent Obama from being re-elected? Now, in the real world, this doesn't exactly apply to the international policy realm that has many applications to it. What I desire was something more tangible that I believe Jacob can talk about with his experience in Model UN.
With my experience in Model United Nations, I learned not only about parliamentary procedure, but its real-life impacts and its global reach. I had recently been elected the parliamentarian of the honor society that I was in, and I had no idea what it meant. Although I had no idea what parliamentarian meant, or even the slightest idea of what parliamentary procedure is, after I went to my first Model United Nations conference, I learned not only how to use parliamentary procedure, but also the importance of it in the global realm. Why it's important to help us solve problems that our world faces diplomatically.
And that seems to coincide perfectly with the goals of the Student Parliamentary Association. The idea of diplomatic rhetoric, of being able to speak and converse with a person without angering them or frustrating them, but rather persuading them and opening their mind to new ideas.
Our second goal is that of civil discourse. Civil discourse is the idea that two students, two foreign diplomats, can meet together and come up with a new solution and be more open to the other's ideas. This idea of openness allows students to give a global perspective to the ideas that they have and can find the best solution to today's problems.
That coincides perfectly with the final goal of the Student Parliamentary Association, this idea of scholastic partnership. That there is something more than just learning in the classroom, but rather being a leader in your community. That people from all across the nation can confide with each other and work under one common banner. This idea of civil discourse, this idea of diplomatic rhetoric, working together to pass various resolutions, to share new ideas, and to what more, take something back from this conference that they will remember for the rest of their lives.
We invite you to join us with our inaugural Model NATO conference. Model NATO is something that is very popular around the world, and even in colleges in the United States, but no Model NATO conference has ever occurred for students high school students in the United States.
So we urge you to participate in Model NATO and become a member of the Student Parliamentary Association by visiting our website, www.modelnato.com. Thank you.